because when I was about 4, my mom told me never tell anyone that you are Jewish. Consequently, a lady who was a Nazi sympathizer in Holland, and I was playing in the street, and she said to me, "Are you a little Jewish boy?" And I turned around and I said, don't forget, I was like 5 years old at the time. "What's Jewish?" And quite candidly, if I would have said yes, the entire family would have been destroyed.
That's really great to say that. That's really great to say that.
No, it was just, I guess, lucky, or I don't know if that was brave, but it was certainly smarter than what the alternative could have been.
So did you interact with any soldiers during your time there?
Well, I'll give you several stories. Story number one is before I was given to foster parents, my mom and I were picked up by the Nazis. This is when I was 5 years old. And we were taken to a place where they assembled all the Jews called the Hollandische Schambrouw. This was a large movie theater where all the Jews in Amsterdam, when they were picked up, were brought to. And then from there they were sent to concentration camps. Now, there is a book that is called the Rembrandt Affair. And the Rembrandt Affair is about a woman who was Dutch who was brought to the same place. And she was brought there and with her whole family. And her father bribed the guard with a Rembrandt. You know what a Rembrandt is? A Rembrandt picture, okay, which is very valuable. My mother and I were brought there, and the guards were bribed with salamis, and we were able to escape because they gave them salamis, and which proves that some people are worth Rembrandts and other people are worth salamis. Now, you asked about soldiers. When I lived in The Hague with my foster parents, they didn't know I was Jewish or not Jewish, and there were soldiers that were stationed, and they basically became friendly with the local population, and we would say, "Shoot out that window," and they did, and they never gave us a difficult time. It was the Nazis themselves that gave us a hard time.
So what soldiers were there?
They were German soldiers, but they were not necessarily Nazis. They were just soldiers that were guarding different places in the German army, but they were not Nazis that sent Jews to concentration camps, etc., etc.
Yeah, that makes sense, because Nazi was actually a political party originally. So.
You got that exactly right.
Yeah.
The Nazis were, at that time, a group of people who were in the SS, people who believed in that philosophy. And you have to differentiate between the Nazis and just the plain German soldier who sometimes was bad and sometimes was just like a normal person.
So I remember hearing that most of the population of Germany didn't even know what was happening in those camps anyways.
Well, that's one of the things that they like to say. I think the entire German population knew that there was tremendous persecution against Jews, against gypsies, against homosexuals. They knew that. They may not have opened their eyes on the concentration camps and that Jews were being killed, but they certainly knew what was going on and the terrible persecution of all the people I just mentioned.
So, and then were you reunited with your family? Were you reunited with your family?
My father had passed away a month before I was born, possibly because of the stress of having to leave Germany and then going to Holland. My mom survived the war, and we were reunited in 1945 and came to the United States in 1947.